Hi students, this is Botany PSR. Today we will discuss about secondary growth in dicot root. Secondary growth in dicot root. In dicot root, what type of vascular bundles present? Radial vascular bundles present. How many number of xylem bundles present? Usually 2 to 4. That is diarch to tetrarch. What type of xylem means? Exarch xylem. Growth of xylem is centripetal. So if you look at this diagram, this is the internal structure of dicot root. So this is xylem. Here, this is the protoxylem. This is the actually metaxylem is present. So this entire called as primary xylem. This is xylem, this is xylem. In between xylem patches, phloem is present. That is primary phloem. So this is primary xylem, this is primary phloem. In between xylem and phloem, conjunctive tissue is present. In between xylem and phloem, conjunctive tissue is present. Right. This part is so called pericycle. This part is so called endodermis. This part is called cortex. This part is called epidermis. Okay. So that is from here to here cortex. Okay. Right. So that is in dicot root, number of xylem bundles usually diarch to tetrarch. Next one. Type of xylem is exarch. What does it mean exarch? Protoxylem is present towards periphery. Metaxylem is present towards inner side. That is so called exarch xylem. As protoxylem is present towards outer side, growth that is protoxylem, metaxylem that is towards center. So growth of xylem is centripetal in roots, whereas in stem centrifugal. Now, what parts of the dicot root will help in secondary growth? How does this secondary growth in dicot root occurs? This one we are going to discuss. Okay. So the here you are able to find protoxylem. This is a protoxylem. The protoxylem above the pericycle present above the protoxylem. So the part of the pericycle present above the protoxylem, that is it undergo dedifferentiation. So that is the part of the pericycle present above the protoxylem, that is here it undergoes dedifferentiation, becomes meristematic. Here also it undergoes dedifferentiation. Here also it undergoes dedifferentiation. Here also it undergoes dedifferentiation. So total how many places means 4. That is above the protoxylem in pericycle. Not the entire pericycle. The part of the pericycle present above the protoxylem or opposite to the protoxylem. Those pericycle cells undergo dedifferentiation, DD, shortly called as DD. And the tissue present below the phloem bundles, here they undergo dedifferentiation. Below the phloem bundles undergo dedifferentiation. Below the phloem bundles undergo dedifferentiation. Below the phloem bundles undergo dedifferentiation. So the tissue present below the phloem bundles undergo dedifferentiation and become meristematic. So the total the tissue present below the phloem bundles is called conjunctive tissue, or the tissue present between xylem and phloem is also called conjunctive tissue. Tissue present below the phloem bundles is considered to be conjunctive tissue. Will a part of pericycle is participated or entire pericycle? A part of pericycle is involved, and that too not entire conjunctive tissue. A part of conjunctive tissue is involved. So a part of pericycle and a part of conjunctive tissue is involved in the formation of vascular cambium. in the formation of vascular cambium. Now, here the tissue present below the phloem bundles undergo dedifferentiation and become meristematic. Here meristematic, here meristematic, here meristematic. And similarly, a part of pericycle present above the protoxylem or a part of the pericycle present opposite to protoxylem undergo dedifferentiation and become meristematic. So, which parts helpful in formation of vascular cambium in dicot root means a part of pericycle and a part of conjunctive tissue. Now, let's say here, now this is conjunctive tissue undergo dedifferentiation, 4 places. Here also it undergo dedifferentiation, isn't it? So that is all those meristematic layers together join like this. Together join like this. Right. This is so called vascular cambium. Vascular cambium. So that is, this vascular cambium is complete, continuous. Initially it is wavy. Initially it is wavy. Later it becomes circular. So this vascular cambium in dicot root is continuous and complete. But initially it is wavy. Later it becomes circular. So this is the formation of vascular cambium in dicot root. So which parts in dicot root are helpful in formation of vascular cambium means a part of pericycle and a part of conjunctive tissue. This is very, very important point. In dicot root, a part of pericycle and a part of conjunctive tissue are helpful in formation of vascular cambium. Whereas in dicot stem, vascular cambium dicot stem is formed from intravascular cambium and intervascular cambium. Okay, right. Now, this vascular cambium becomes circular. Initially it is wavy, no? Later it becomes circular. So, this is so called vascular cambium. This vascular cambium produces secondary xylem towards inner side, secondary phloem towards outer side, as in the case of dicot stem. So that is same events occur in both dicot stem and dicot root after the formation of vascular cambium. This is the vascular cambium, circular. Initially it is wavy. So this vascular cambium produces secondary phloem towards outer side, secondary xylem towards inner side, same as in the case of dicot stem. In both dicot stem and dicot root, vascular cambium produces secondary phloem towards outer side, secondary xylem towards inner side. Less amount of secondary phloem towards outer side, more amount of secondary xylem towards inner side. This is more amount. Secondary phloem is less amount. Why? Because vascular cambium is less active towards outer side. That's why vascular cambium produces less amount of secondary phloem. Vascular cambium produces more amount of secondary xylem towards inner side. Why? Because vascular cambium is more active towards inner side. Later on, secondary xylem is produced more and more means this is the primary xylem. Later on, it crushed. Primary xylem, later on, it crushed. So, later primary xylem was crushed. Right. So, next diagram. See, this is the vascular cambium. This is the vascular cambium. This vascular cambium towards outer side, secondary phloem is produced. towards inner side, this is called secondary xylem. The rays found, the ray parenchyma cells found in secondary xylem are called secondary xylem rays, also called wood rays. The ray parenchyma cells found in secondary phloem are called secondary phloem rays, also called bast rays. Okay, so those rays are useful for ray parenchyma cells are useful for radial conduction, also called lateral conduction. This more and more secondary xylem is produced means due to accumulation of more and more secondary xylem, this secondary xylem later on converts into annual rings. This is the annual ring. So that is, do you find annual rings in dicot stem? Yes. Do you find annual rings in dicot root? Yes. Annual rings are also found in dicot root. True. Annual rings are found in both dicot stem and dicot root. True. So that is, after the formation of vascular cambium, same further events are same in dicot root as that of dicot stem. In dicot root, vascular cambium is formed from a part of pericycle and a part of conjunctive tissue. Whereas in dicot stem, it is a combination of intravascular cambium and intervascular cambium. In both dicot stem and dicot root, vascular cambium produces secondary phloem towards outer side, secondary xylem towards inner side. In both dicot stem and dicot root, annual rings are formed. This secondary xylem is also called wood. This annual ring contains, one annual ring contains one spring wood and one autumn wood. Similar in the case of dicot stem. Now look at here, my dear students. In dicot root, vascular cambium is formed from. In dicot root, vascular cambium is formed from part of pericycle and a part of conjunctive tissue. Understand? Next, cork cambium is formed from same pericycle. That is the pericycle of dicot root. This is the pericycle, no? The pericycle. This is the pericycle. The pericycle in dicot root helps in the formation of initially vascular cambium, later on cork cambium also. In dicot root, vascular cambium is formed from a part of pericycle and a part of conjunctive tissue. Later on, this same pericycle is helpful in the formation of cork cambium. Cork cambium is also called phellogen. This cork cambium produces phellum towards outer side, phellodum towards inner side. Similar in the case of dicot stem. So, 2 points you have to remember, my dear students. In dicot root, vascular cambium is formed from a part of pericycle and a part of conjunctive tissue. In dicot root, vascular cambium is formed from, that is, pericycle. Whereas in dicot stem, cork cambium is formed from parenchyma cells of cortex. In dicot stem, vascular cambium is formed from, intravascular cambium and intervascular cambium. Understand? Right. Now look at here. Formation of vascular cambium in dicot root is, complete and continuous. Later it is initially wavy ring. Later it becomes circular. Initially it is wavy ring. Later it becomes circular. Initially it is wavy. Later it becomes circular. Next, further events in dicot root are similar as in dicot stem. That is, vascular cambium produces secondary phloem towards outer side, secondary xylem towards inner side. Same as in both dicot stem and monocot stem. From that pericycle in dicot root produces phellum towards outer side, phellodum towards inner side. So formation of vascular cambium is intrastellar secondary growth. Formation of vascular cambium, that is formation of vascular cambium occurs in intrastellar, that is stellar. Next, formation of cork cambium is extrastellar. So that is formation of vascular cambium should be considered as stellar secondary growth. Formation of cork cambium should be considered as extrastellar. Extrastellar means outside the stele. Outside the stele means where? Cortex. So that is cortical secondary growth. That is occurs in both dicot stem and dicot root. Next one. Vascular cambium dicot stem is stellar or intrastellar lateral meristem. Whereas vascular cambium dicot root is stellar lateral meristem. Why? Because here in dicot stem, vascular cambium is formed from intra-FC, inter-FC. That is cambium parts. Cambium parts means that is the part of stele. Dicot root vascular cambium is formed as stellar lateral meristem. Why? Because pericycle is a part of stele. Pericycle is a part of stele. Conjunctive tissue is a part of stele. That's why we are saying stellar lateral meristem. Next, cork cambium in dicot stem is derived from cortex. So cork cambium in dicot stem is derived from, formed from parenchyma cells of cortex. Whereas cork cambium in dicot root is formed from cork cambium in dicot root is formed from cork cambium dicot stem is derived from cortex, whereas dicot root it is formed from pericycle. Cork cambium in dicot stem it is derived from cortex. That's why it is so called extrastellar in origin. Cork cambium in dicot root is formed from pericycle. Vascular cambium means a part of pericycle and a part of conjunctive tissue. Right. So that's why it is pericycle means it is stellar in origin. Pericycle is a part of stele. Pericycle is a part of stele. Now look at here. This is the tabular form, my dear students. Comparison between dicot stem and dicot root. Dicot stem and dicot root. Vascular cambium in dicot stem origin is partly primary and partly secondary. Why? Because that is it is formed from intravascular cambium and intervascular cambium. Intravascular cambium is partly primary. That is intravascular cambium is primary in origin. Intervascular cambium is secondary in origin. That's why vascular cambium dicot stem is partly primary and partly secondary. Vascular cambium produces secondary xylem towards inner side, secondary phloem towards outer side. Okay. So vascular cambium dicot stem origin is partly primary and partly secondary. Why? This is the only tissue which is partly primary, partly secondary means vascular cambium in dicot stem. Don't say dicot root. Okay. So whereas in dicot root, origin, vascular cambium origin is completely secondary in origin. That is, it is vascular cambium is formed from part of pericycle and a part of conjunctive tissue. This undergoes during secondary growth. That's why it is completely secondary in origin. It produces secondary xylem towards inner side, secondary phloem towards outer side. So that is vascular cambium produces both secondary xylem and secondary phloem in both dicot stem and dicot root. Okay, next, cork cambium origin, secondary in origin. In dicot stem it is secondary in origin. This cork cambium is formed from parenchyma cells of cortex. This cork cambium produces phellum towards outer side, phellodum towards inner side. Cork cambium is also called phellogen. Phellum is also called cork. Phellodum is also called secondary cortex. This phellum is also called cork. Phellodum is also called secondary cortex. So that is, in dicot stem, cork cambium produces means cork towards outer side, secondary cortex towards inner side. Whereas in cork cambium in dicot root, secondary in origin. That is, cork cambium is formed during secondary growth. That's why completely secondary in origin. This cork cambium in dicot root is formed from pericycle. So that is, pericycle helps in formation of both vascular cambium and cork cambium in dicot root. Here is pericycle, here is pericycle. So pericycle in dicot root helps in the formation of both vascular cambium and cork cambium. And in dicot root, cork cambium produces same tissues, that is phellum towards outer side and phellodum towards inner side. So that is, in both dicot stem and dicot root, in both dicot stem and dicot root, vascular cambium produces secondary xylem, secondary phloem. Cork cambium in both dicot stem and dicot root produces phellum and phellodum. Here also phellum and phellodum. This point you have to remember. Right. In other points, in both dicot stem and dicot root, vascular cambium produces, in both dicot stem and dicot root, vascular cambium produces secondary xylem and secondary phloem. Secondary xylem is also called wood. Secondary phloem is also called bast. In both dicot stem and dicot root, cork cambium produces phellum towards outer side, phellodum towards inner side. Phellum is also called cork. Phellodum is also called secondary cortex. Right. Annual rings are found in both dicot stem and dicot root. Do you find annual rings in dicot root? Yes. Why? Because annual rings are also formed in dicot root, same as in that of dicot stem. So annual rings are found in both dicot stem and dicot root. Pericycle in dicot root helps in stellar and extrastellar secondary growth. Pericycle in dicot root helps in stellar and extrastellar secondary growth. Why? Because pericycle produces vascular cambium and cork cambium respectively. What does it mean? This pericycle produces vascular cambium in intrastellar secondary growth, and the same pericycle also helps in the formation of cork cambium during extrastellar secondary growth. Formation of vascular cambium in intrastellar secondary growth, also called stellar secondary growth. Formation of cork cambium is extrastellar secondary growth. So the pericycle in dicot root helps in the formation of both vascular cambium and cork cambium. Right. In dicot root, vascular cambium produces cork and secondary cortex. That is false. In dicot root, vascular cambium produces cork and secondary cortex. False. In dicot root, vascular cambium produces secondary xylem and secondary phloem. Vascular cambium never produce cork and secondary cortex. Next point. In dicot root, cork cambium produces secondary xylem and secondary phloem. In both dicot stem and dicot root, cork cambium produces phellum and phellodum. Cork cambium never produce secondary xylem and secondary phloem. Did you understand, my dear students? This is somewhat important, my dear students. Cork cambium in dicot stem is derived from cortex. That's why it is so called extrastellar. Cork chemium in dicotrode is formed from. Cork chemium in dicotrode is formed from. That is pericycle. Pericycle is a part of steel. That's why it is so called stellar. So stellar in origin. Okay. So these points are very, very important points, my dear students. So please note down all these points in your notebook. I hope you understood, and we will meet in the next class.